Roughly 10,000 working satellites are circling over your head right now, and almost none of them are up there for science. They're up there to make money. Cold, steady, ridiculous amounts of it. The kind that funds rockets and starts fights over who gets to park where. So how does a metal box floating a couple hundred miles up actually turn a profit? Stick around, because once you see how this works, you'll never look at the sky the same way. Back up to 1965. A satellite called Early Bird went up, and by today's standards, it was almost a joke. It could handle 240 phone calls at once, or one TV channel. That's it. Pick one. And companies still paid through the nose, because before Early Bird, a live call across the Atlantic meant undersea cables that were jammed and brutally expensive. Suddenly, you could bounce a conversation off a box in space. That little satellite proved something nobody had really believed. Space wasn't just for flags and astronauts and Cold War bragging rights. You could run a business up there. The second people got that, the race was on. Start with the oldest money in orbit: communications. Here's the basic move. A TV station shoots a signal straight up to a satellite. The satellite catches it, boosts it, and fires it back down across a whole continent. Your dish on the roof grabs that signal. Same thing with a phone call or a data link. It goes up, comes back down somewhere far away, and the round trip takes about a quarter of a second. But the real trick is where these satellites sit. There's a sweet spot about 22,000 miles up. Park a satellite there and it circles at the exact speed the Earth spins. So from the ground, it looks frozen. It never moves. Which means your dish points at one fixed spot and never adjusts. No tracking, no motors, nothing. Bolt it to the wall and forget about it. Now think about what that's worth. There are only so many slots in that ring around the equator. Park two satellites too close and their signals smear into each other. So those positions are prime real estate. Governments fight over them. Companies lease them. And one good slot with a satellite parked in it can pull in tens of millions of dollars a year, every year, for 15 years or more. One box, just sitting there, collecting rent. Then somebody got smarter and everybody copied it fast. Why sell a satellite for one thing when you can sell it for 1,000? Take a single bird in orbit. It's beaming TV down to homes in one country. Fine. But that same satellite can also push a data link to a cargo ship crossing the Pacific, where there's no cable for 1,000 miles in any direction, and it can pipe internet to a mountain village that no fiber line will ever reach. 3 totally different customers, 3 separate bills, 1 piece of hardware. That's what turned satellite operators from one-trick outfits into machines that earn from every direction at once. And then Starlink torched the whole model. For decades, the playbook never changed. Build one enormous satellite the size of a bus, costing hundreds of millions, and squeeze it for every penny. SpaceX flipped it inside out. Forget the one giant pricey bird. Launch thousands of small, cheap ones flying low, working as a swarm. No dish locked onto a fixed slot 22,000 miles up. These satellites scream across the sky and hand you off to the next one as they pass overhead. And here's where it gets ridiculous. Run the numbers. Say you've got 5 million customers paying around $100 a month. That's $500 million a month. Roughly $6 billion a year, just pouring in from subscriptions. People in cabins, on boats, on farms, in places telecom companies gave up on decades ago. And that flood of cash does something wild. It pays for the rocket company that launches the satellites in the first place. The business funds itself, then builds the next thing. That's the dream every operator is chasing now. Okay, here's a money stream you've probably never thought about: selling pictures of the Earth. There's a company called Planet that flies a fleet of small satellites, and together they photograph the entire surface of the planet. Every single day. Every field, every port, every parking lot, shot from above. Fresh every 24 hours. Who pays for that? More people than you'd think. A farmer wants to know which corner of his field is drying out before the crop dies. An insurance company wants to see flood damage the day after the storm, not 3 weeks later. A government wants eyes on a rival's military base. And my favorite, a hedge fund will pay good money just to count the cars in the parking lots of every Walmart in the country. Why? Because if those lots are jammed the week before Walmart reports earnings, the fund knows sales are up before anyone else. They trade on it. They make millions off pictures of parking lots from space. Now, the strangest model of them all. GPS. Here's the weird part. GPS is free. The satellites are run by the US government, and the signal pouring into your phone costs you nothing. Anybody on Earth can use it. So where is the money? It is in everything built on top of it. The signal is free, sure, but the Maps app that gets you home, that is a business. Uber and the whole rideshare world are built on GPS. Every package you watch crawl across the country depends on it. Tractors that drop seeds within an inch of where they should go rely on it. Dating apps that find people near you depend on it. All of it sits on that free signal. Economists put the value of GPS to the economy well past $1 trillion. The satellites give it away, and 1,000 companies got rich selling what they stacked on top. Lately, there's a fresh gold rush, and the government's the one writing the checks. The Pentagon used to build all its own space gear. Now it just buys from private companies. It pays Starlink for internet on the battlefield, because soldiers need a connection nobody can cut. It pays companies to build sensors that catch a missile launch the instant it happens. And these deals are huge. A single defense contract can be worth more than 10 years of selling TV channels into people's living rooms. That's why every satellite company you've heard of suddenly grew a defense division. The military pays the most, and it pays on time. So by now, you might figure this is easy money. Toss a box in orbit, watch the cash roll in. Nope. This is one of the most brutal businesses on the planet. Launching a single satellite can run tens of millions of dollars, and rockets blow up. Once your satellite's in orbit and something breaks, there's no repair truck coming. It's dead, and so is your money. Orbits are getting crowded and littered with junk moving at 17,000 miles an hour, and one collision can erase years of work in seconds. And the graveyard is crowded. Iridium, the company that promised satellite phones for everyone back in the 90s, went bankrupt and torched billions of dollars before anyone earned a dime. OneWeb, a Starlink rival, crashed into bankruptcy too. Again and again, smart people with deep pockets bet on the same dream and lost the whole stake. Most operators bleed money for years before they ever see a profit, if they ever do. So next time your phone drops a little blue dot right on your street, or your weather app nails tomorrow's rain to the hour, remember, there's a machine in orbit getting paid for that exact moment. Communications, the swarm, pictures of parking lots, the free signal, the defense checks. 5 different ways to make money off the sky. Some will still be here in 30 years. Some are already dying and don't know it yet. So which one do you think actually lasts? Drop it in the comments. I really want to know what you'd bet on.